Howdy folks, my name is Wakia with Macro Drone Works and I'm here at McKee Park, and today I'm going to walk you through what I do for pre-flight planning. Now, one of the main things you got to do before you even get to the area is make sure you're not flying in a restricted airspace, or if you are, make sure you have the correct waivers and paperwork already filled out on the FAA Drone Zone website to make sure you're doing it correctly. Now, before you could use the FAA Before You Fly app, but that's kind of going through a transitional phase right now. If you go to the app, you can go onto the FAA's website and they have a list of a few different apps that you can try out. I'm currently trying out AirHub, seeing how I like it. One surefire way to make sure you're not flying in a restricted zone is to check the Sky Vector on your desktop. It has the whole airspace map for the US, very detailed. Some of the places on Sky Vector don't actually show up on apps. So like my local area here around Starkville, there's the Noxubee Wildlife Reserve. And one thing to make sure of is checking the Sky Vector just in case, because on all the apps, the Noxubee Wildlife Reserve does not actually show up on there, and that is a restricted flight area because it's a wildlife refuge. And if you go there, yes, you'll find the sign saying no drones allowed, but it's always good to just double check before you go so you don't pack up all your stuff, get there, it's like, oh, well, can't fly here. Next up, definitely want to check weather. You don't want to go out there if it's raining, get poured on. Some drones are waterproof, but you shouldn't be flying within 500 feet underneath a cloud and 2,000 feet horizontal to a cloud. So that can be somewhat hard to tell, but you know, if it's a sunny day and the sky is clear, you should be good to fly, right? But then when I get here, I make sure I got my batteries, make sure they're charged, make sure they're not puffed up. Eventually, wear and tear on batteries, they can get puffy, and that's time to probably retire the battery. Don't want to put it in the drone, it might catch fire. Definitely want to make sure your RC controller's charged. You also want to make sure your remote ID is working with your drone. You can do that through some apps called Drone Scanner. It can be a little hard to do while you're on your phone and flying the drone from the same device, but it is possible. I have done it. And we're here with the drone finally. All right. What I do is I always check to make sure I have kind of an ND filter for the day, the light of the day. I normally go with an 8 if it's kind of a warm day with some slight clouds, kind of like today. I'm also in the shade a little bit. And then we want to unfold our wings here. And we'll check to make sure our propellers, there's no chips or cracks in there. If there are, we definitely want to replace them, because if you fly with a chipped or cracked propeller, there is a good chance that it might explode. So now we got our drone, we got our battery. Make sure it goes in the right way. We'll power it up here. John's going to do a little startup sequence, and we'll fidget in. Give us a nice little beeperoni, and we'll hook up our phone to our RC controller and go for a fly. But yeah, that's my pre-flight setup. If you guys have any other things that you do for your pre-flight setup, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you out there flying. Peace out. Bonus tip, make sure you got your SD card. That one's important.